Chapter 2: The Invitation. It's time we talked about where you're from. The words hit me like a shockwave. My first instinct was to laugh, to brush it off as some kind of strange joke, but there was nothing playful in his eyes. They were sharp, too sharp, like they could see straight through me. "How do you know me?" I asked. He didn't answer. Instead, he gestured toward the side exit of the school. "Walk with me." Everything in me screamed to turn and run, yet something else, something deeper, kept my feet moving. The air outside felt colder than it had minutes before, and the parking lot was empty, as though the world had quietly stepped aside for this moment. A black sedan waited at the curb. The windows were tinted so dark they reflected the clouds overhead. The man opened the rear door and motioned for me to get in. I hesitated. "Where are we going?" "To meet people who can explain what's happening to you." The part of me that still clung to logic wanted to say no. But another part, the part that had been stirring ever since the visions began, knew this was a turning point. I slid into the car. Inside, another figure was waiting. A woman, early 40s perhaps, with dark hair pulled back tightly. She didn't smile. She studied me the way a scientist might examine an unusual specimen. "You've begun to remember," she said, her voice calm but precise. I froze. "Remember what?" "Who you are. Where you're from. Why you're here." She leaned forward slightly, and for a moment, her eyes caught the light in a way that made them look not entirely human. "You've been monitored for some time," she continued. "Not just by us, others too. But we reached you first. That's important." The car began moving, and the city streets blurred past the windows. I realized I had no idea where we were headed. Finally, I asked the question I'd been holding back. Why me? The woman and the man exchanged a glance, then she answered, "Because you're not from here. And it's time you understood your role." We drove in silence for the next 15 minutes until we reached a building I didn't recognize, modern, windowless, and unmarked. Inside, we passed through several security checkpoints, each guarded by people who didn't speak a word. Eventually, we entered a room with a single table and 3 chairs. On the table sat a slim black folder. The woman slid it toward me. "This," she said, "is the beginning of your mission briefing. What you learned today, you cannot share. Not now. Not with anyone." My fingers hovered over the folder, a chill running through me. "What if I say no?" I asked. "You won't," she replied, as if she already knew my choice. And she was right. I opened the folder. That was the moment my life on Earth truly began.